What up, dude?
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I'm doing amazing, bro.
It's a beautiful day. Good to see you again.
Same to you, brother.
I feel much better.
Why?
Well, I was sick last week, so.
Oh, that makes yes. I thought you meant because of my second start.
Oh no, I got this shit now.
You're used to it now.
Now I just wait and know that it's going to be okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
All will always be okay.
Yeah,
and if it's not, we'll be okay too.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. It's been fun working with you, man.
Yeah, dude. You should see this side. I'm sure your sides. I think we'd both enjoy each other's side.
Mm-hmm. I have. Yeah. I knew it was going to be a shit show, and it's actually far, far, far less of a shit show than I anticipated. So.
Well, that's damn good.
Yeah.
That's damn good.
Yeah, you're a lifesaver. Thanks for your help, man.
Yeah, we're enjoying it, and it's neat because it's like you got to learn. Working with new people, it's like you got to learn each other's not only like process and system, but thought process and the way people communicate, what people are good at, what people are bad at, there's a ton of moving parts.
Personalities. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I've enjoyed
crew's
it.
been awesome. They've been
They're amazing.
Super patient, which is cool. And same, we're trying to be patient too, because they're learning our stuff and we're learning theirs, and it's been fun.
Yeah. I feel the same way. That was something I wanted to share with you is like, I love how much you and I have in common. I love that, in so many aspects, you're so far ahead of me in things. But like your team is remarkable. And I really feel like my team is remarkable, especially, considering how ignorant we were walking into this and how far we've gotten in 3 weeks. Like you, most of the people I work with are not employees. Yeah. And, you got to have, I was watching this Gary Vaynerchuk thing yesterday, which was interesting because it was exactly what I was talking about earlier in the day is, with employees, you can't expect the same thing you expect out of yourself. But in the insurance world, I do expect from my agents what I expect out of myself.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because they're not employees.
They're not my
Those
employees.
are business.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, you are a business partner, and if you're going to be a business partner, then I expect the same thing out of you that I put into you, and that I put into this business. And
how do you handle it when they don't? I'm curious.
So, I would say twice a year I have a meltdown. So I had a meltdown
only twice a year
on Monday.
Only twice a year?
Probably.
Times. Impressive.
Typically it's handled one-on-one or whatever, but like, so you know all the problems that we had on Saturday. Yeah, and some of those problems those problems, some were great problems because my marketing team did their job and we were having our best day of leads ever, but also we had just implemented your program. And so we still had garbage in, garbage out, right? And which was no big deal, except I don't make people work on Saturdays, right? First off, we're 1099, I can't make you do anything.
Yeah.
But there are 2 to 3 weekends a year that you need to be here, right? So December 1st through
that's one of them.
December 15th, you don't go home. You sleep here, right? You don't show up late. I lock the door at 8:30. And so Saturday comes after our Friday meeting where I was like, I thought I made it clear you better be here tomorrow. And then I get here at 7 a.m. on Saturday. And at 11 o'clock, I'm not paying attention to the team because I'm focused on, all the, the shit show that you and I are trying to fix.
Yeah.
And I turn around, there's like 10 people in the room out of 80.
Oh, shit.
And I've got 300 people that overnight have said, hey, Perry, hey, Healthy Insurance Dude, call me. Yeah. And I have no one to give these 300 leads to. And so, so I throw a little temper tantrum on Saturday, via Telegram, because I can't talk to the people. I force the few leaders that weren't here to get there. I don't force anybody, but they come in.
I feel you.
So by Monday, Sunday was okay. By Monday, I had this whole thing, this football coach speech kind of planned out in my head. And then at 8:30, half my team isn't here.
Shut up.
Yeah. And that's when I lost my shit. So spittle flying. Right.
Did you wait till they all got there to lose your shit, or did you lose your shit on the few that were there?
Well, most of the people that were there weren't there on Saturday. So I lost my shit on everybody.
I love it.
Yeah. And but typically we lock the doors at 8:30. We're like, listen, if you don't want to be here by 8:30, you don't care. And I expect
you don't let them in.
No.
They knock on the door, you just watch them. I love it. Sean used to do that.
We give them, we tell them they're giving 11%.
I've never heard you say that one before.
Yeah. You're giving me 11%. Yeah. And
so giving it back.
I'm giving it back. You giving me 11%. Here's my 11% effort for you.
I love it, dude.
And again, like most of the year, it is what it is. I just put, we have file cabinets in our head. We go, okay, well, I thought you were in this file cabinet.
Yeah.
You belong in this file cabinet. And the way we do our training, have I told you about our pie style of training?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So everybody comes in here with a pie, right? Every day, everybody walks in with their fresh pie.
Okay.
You don't get my pie, John, till you finish your pie. You finish your pie, you can have mine. So my leaders will come to me and they go, well, how do I, this guy, I'm trying to give this guy attention and he's too busy on YouTube. And I go, no, why are you giving him attention? He didn't finish his pie. Therefore, you give him no pie. Well, who do you give your pie to? Who do we give attention to? We give their attention to the people who finish their pie. So if you finish your pie, then the big brother, which would be the next step up, that leader, that first line level leader, big brother, big sister, they will then give you their pie. And if you finish their pie, then it goes up to the FTA, which next second line level leader, you finish their pie, right? Then it would go to Jamie, Matt, Stoner. And then if you finish their pie, you're in my office.
Got it.
Now I got somebody worth spending time with.
Yep.
And so most of the year, it's like, if you don't want to eat your pie, you're just nobody to me. I know you'll be gone soon. So go away. Right.
Yeah.
But right now we don't get to play that game. Right now, nobody gets anybody's pie because, I got guys in our company, 4 of the top 10 people in the company are in my office right now.
Yep.
I mean, we're killing it. Help from you. Thank you. And so we don't, Matt doesn't have time to give anybody any pie. He's number 2 in the country right now.
Gotcha.
And he's not number 1 at the end of the day. He's going to be pissed. Right. And so, anyways, I lose my shit once or twice a year, but most of the time, if you don't care, I don't care, but I'm still walking the door at 8:30.
Yeah.
So
what do you have?
Go ahead.
You have like metrics for people to hit a day, and like number of dials or contacts or lead. Like, how's that in your world? Or expectations even, or what, if you had to tell me what number I should hit to have a better chance of success versus not, is there like a minimum threshold or anything like that?
I mean, we do, everybody, I think what makes the Lion's Den special is, have I told you my superhero analogy?
I don't know, maybe. But
Okay.
go for
Yeah.
it. I want to hear it.
So I have adamantium claws, right? So
the hell's that?
And that's my superpower, just for fun. Okay. You go along with the story.
Okay.
So I have adamantium claws, and typically the way a sales organization comes in, and is you bring a group of new people in, and I walk in the room and I go, all right, everybody, get your claws out, rah! Right? And my claws come out, and then everybody in the room goes, and nothing comes out. Right. And then you go, you're not my guy. Get out of here. You're not my guy. Get out of here. You're not my guy. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But we never find out that all of those people in the room, one of them has a lasso of truth, and one of them can fly, and one of them can run faster than a speeding bullet. And like your superpower is buying leads and dialing all day. Bro, I would be broke if that had to be my superpower. That's just not it. It's not who I am. We're producing 400 or 500 people a day or whatever that is in different directions without doing that. Right now, do I expect you to do that? Yes. But if it's not your superpower, in my trainings, in the training program that I'm building, and even in the TikTok that you're in, I know of, there's about 12 great ways to get leads. So you've got the way Joe does it, right? We have great trainings in there on the way Joe gets leads. Joe doesn't cold call anybody. Joe's able to create leads for an entire team, all 100% free, all on social media.
Yeah.
Right. And so I have people who do that. I have people that are badass on VanillaSoft or an auto dialer. I have people who are badass at texting. I have people, people like me that create content and market it out and can create leads off of that. I got a guy who probably makes $600,000 a year, and all he does is work with influencers. Right. I mean, he's never made it. So when you come in, we're like, all right, day one, nice to meet you, John. I'm giving you no information. Here's 300 phone numbers. I'm not going to give you a pitch. I just want you to dial 300 people and say something stupid to them. And if you come back tomorrow, then you'll get trained.
Which is cool. I like that. You just seen if there, because again, I love all the superpower stuff, but at the end of the day, until you know that, they have to do something.
Right. And so we teach you what you do, right? We teach that.
Yep.
And even now, we won't even contract you with our company until you have already brought 3 deals to the table.
I like that. Yeah. I'm a fan.
We won't contract you with the company until you know your call flow. We won't contract you with the company until you know your pitch for every type of lead, for cold call leads, for calling businesses, for healthy insurance dude leads, for buying leads, for live transfers. We won't contract you until you are competent enough that we know you'll be successful.
Do you have them calling for other people, like calling live leads in the meantime?
Yeah. And
like
then they can't pitch, but they
can that way. Correct. They can't sell it. I get it.
That they can pre-qual and they can ask if they want help, and then some people, I think if I ever told you the Bank of Trust story, it's a long story. You want to hear it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. So when I was a kid, and this is going to make you proud to be my friend.
Okay.
I was the 1985 5th grade Wichita Falls, Texas breakdancing champion.
No shit.
Oh yeah. I was good. For Wichita Falls, badass. So I wanted a jam box, right? And my grandmother had, she always, for my birthday and for Christmas, she would put $50 into a bank account at the Bank of Trust in downtown Fort Worth. And so, and that was back when $50 was a decent amount of money. And so she'd been doing that my whole life. And so in 5th grade, I call my Meemaw and I go, hey, Meemaw, I don't know if you know this, I'm the Wichita Falls 5th grade breakdancing champion. She's like, oh, honey, that's so sweet. I'm so happy for you. And I go, Meemaw, what I really need to advance my career is a big jam box, a big boom box, right? And she goes, oh, that's wonderful, honey. And I go, so Meemaw, you've been putting this $50 in there twice a year. That's $100 a year. You've been doing this for years. I'm wondering if you would mind that if I took that money out and bought a jam box. She goes, oh, honey, that's so sweet. Yes. And I'm living in Wichita Falls at the time. So she's in Fort Worth. I come down to spend the weekend with her. On Saturday morning, we get up and we go to the bank and we go to make this withdrawal. And there's like $12.50 in the bank. So, it's 1985. She's an older Texas woman. She doesn't know how to read a bank statement, right? That's different times. They didn't do that stuff. There was no app to tell you. Yeah. And what had happened was, the bank account never got high enough that they weren't charging her fees. So basically there's $98 a year in fees, and she's only putting $100 a year into this account.
No way.
Yeah. So here's the moral of the story. The thing about the bank of trust is you don't get statements, and you have no idea how much is in there until you go to make that withdrawal. And sometimes you find out that you're wealthy, and sometimes you found out you got $12.50 in there and nobody trusts you.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's a stupid analogy, but it's a story I like to tell.
It makes sense. It's a good story.
So
I get it.
who are the people? So when we get to who are the people that need to be on the phones dialing all the time? Well, in my experience, right? I never think I'm right, but in my experience, the people who have $12.50 in that bank of trust better get on the freaking phones.
Yeah, 100%.
And right. And, you know, I started here at 43 and my bank of trust was full. And so I never really had to play that game. I dialed one day and went, yeah, okay, cool. I got a sale out of it. But I think that utilizing this bank of trust while I build a brand and build this and build that.
Yeah.
And so I was able to help lots of people using my bank of trust. When your bank of trust is full and you call an influencer that you know and you go, hey, man, it's Perry. I started this new thing. If you know anybody, then if your bank of trust is full, that influencer is going to send you 20 people.
Yep.
If you've been an alcoholic your whole life and nobody believes in you or trusts in you, well, you better start dialing.
Makes sense.
So that's kind of how we decide what people do. Everybody learns, everybody dials on their first day. And then if you choose to break off into a different direction, that's on you. And we have trainings for all of it.
Yeah, I like it. Seems like I assume it's probably pretty similar where most people come in with $12.50. I assume you don't get a ton of people that are loaded.
You probably came in with a lot. I came in with a lot. My wife came in with a lot.
No money.
No, I don't mean money. I mean $12.50 in the bank of trust.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
I had nothing. I was driving a smart car, right? $350,000. I didn't know how to make my house payment, but my bank of trust was full.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And the analogies all over the place.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I mean, that in that sense, yeah. So I was always one where like I've always been pretty good at doing at the very least what I say I'm going to do.
Right.
I may not have committed to much at the beginning and I might have sucked at it, but I always showed up. You know, I was at everything and attended. So that definitely helped. It got me a lot of attention and helped. People started giving me their pie.
Right.
I like that. Now we do the same concept. I just don't have a cool analogy like that for it. So I'm going to
have mine.
I'm going to take a piece of your pie and spread the message.
It started a little more lewd. It started with the American pie method, meaning you got to make sweet love to your pie.
That makes more sense for you.
Yeah, but this is more political.
You probably got to control that a little bit.
Yeah.
I follow.
I'm trying to pretend as if there's an HR guy on my left shoulder.
I was thinking about it yesterday as I traveled to Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia this week.
I'm going there when I leave your house.
Are you?
Yeah.
What for?
Some friends of mine that have been some of Jamie and I's best friends forever. They moved from here 5 years ago and went to Australia, and they just moved back this week, and they moved back to Virginia.
No shit.
Yeah. So I'm coming to your house for the night. We're having dinner. Next morning, we'll do this podcast, going to the airport, and going to Virginia.
I like that. I went to this. A buddy of mine had a like a lock-in, and where it's like a training where they stay in his office for like 3 days, basically, and kind of rally together a bunch of people to do a bunch of business and training. So I went in there to train a bunch of people and help his staff with some of the things I'm helping you with too. And so we go, and I ate at this place there. So I stay. Do you know where you're staying yet? Or are you staying with him, your buddy? You stay downtown?
He's staying in some long-term hotel.
Got it.
So I'm going to stay there.
Got it. I stayed at this place called Liberty Trust. It was cool, whatever. It's a decent place. Last time I went there, I stayed there, and I ate downstairs. But someone recommended I go to this place to eat that's right across the street from the hotel. Dude, it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life in freaking Roanoke, Virginia.
What's it called?
is this place Frankie I think you say Rollins, Rowlands, Rowlands. I think they say Rollins, Frankie Rollins. Dude, I had this like crab stuffed mushroom appetizer.
Those people know how to cook, man.
Bro. And then I got a filet, Oscar style. So I had filet. And the filet, they do like crisp, they char kind of the outside, even though the inside is the way you want it. I get it medium. And then I had a oh dude, what the hell is that? Creme brulee.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even like that stuff. The creme brulee. I don't even like it normally. It's the best dessert I've ever eaten in my life. I was like, oh, dude, I left there stuffed like a freaking pig. It was disgusting.
That's horribly wonderful.
Yeah. So if you go back, and if any of y'all go. I'm gonna go to every one of his events just for that restaurant.
Just for the restaurant. Cool.
God, dude, it was so good. It was so good. So
he's a life guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I go there to train, and I'm like, the reason I asked you the question is like, you go there, and I went like maybe 3 months ago. We had another one, and I don't know, 75% of the room were the same people, and they're in the same position they're in before. And I'm like, dude, do y'all really think I'm going to say anything different this time than last time?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? And so I was frustrated because so many people are looking for like this magic, I don't know what, to make all their problems go away. And I just don't know any. What is it? Tell them what it is.
Do it.
Exactly.
It drives that's always something that drives me crazy when I'm talking. I'll be talking to somebody. I had somebody come into the office last week, and they came here to learn. And the whole time I'm trying to teach them, they're like, "Oh, I already do that. Oh, I already do that. I read that book. I already did this. I do this. I already do that." And then they're like, I'm like, then then clearly the problem is you.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't come here to learn. You're failing. And I like the guy, nice guy, but he's failing. And so you ever notice that when people are failing, they want to tell you all the things they're doing right to save their own ego. And it's like, and typically when I start a conversation, so if one of my agents does a call and closes it, right, I walk up and sit down next to him and I go, do you want option A or option B? Option A is I tell you, we spend 10 minutes me telling you everything you did right. Or do you want option B, where I spend 5 minutes telling you the things that you did wrong? And just so you know, you did a great job. And then they always choose B, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what we're supposed to do. But people who are failing, and I see this in some of my best friends. I'm like, well, I'm doing this right, and I'm doing this right, and I'm doing this right. I'm like, nobody fucking cares if you're doing right. Correct. I mean, your heartbeat all day today. You great job. You want me to? Should we put that on the list of things that we should compliment you about?
Yeah, it's true.
But I was saying the 4 things that I'm working on: the leadership, right? Sales, marketing, analytics. Those are the 4 things I think it takes to be building a company, not to own a company, but to build a company. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you're going to sit and tell me all the things that you're doing right in sales, analytics, and leads, that only means you're not a leader, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, based off of my stupid theory I'm working on.
Yeah, I like that stupid theory, though. It's working out for you, dude. Yeah. And I was like, so I always try to find new ways to be able to pass the same message, Mm-hmm. And especially in our world, in the life world, dude, most people come in with very little bank of trust. Is that how you say it? Bank of trust?
That's what I call it.
And no money. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm like, unless you have some magical way to get clients, I mean, you have to call leads. Or go do something else because I don't have a better solution.
Massive action in any given direction always produces results.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, we're going through and we're talking about the quantities, how many calls people are making, and I'm just asking questions and they're giving me their answers. And after all their answers, I said to them, and I finally I got one that I was like, it made people stop making excuses because it was it was comical to me. And I was like, if there were 9,000 sales books in the room with us right now, what would they say? All of them say, do you think, is the average number of contacts you need to make with a potential client to make a sale? I just asked the question.
Right.
What would you guess numbers were given to me?
What would I guess the number they gave you were?
Yeah. Yeah, I got all kinds. There were like 30 people in the room.
Yeah, somewhere between 3 and 30.
Yeah. 9, 7, 12. Yeah. You know what I mean? Contact. And I was like, contacts.
Right.
And I'm like, and everyone was like so excited to prove they knew the answer from all the sales books, right? They were like, it's 9. No, this one says it's 7. No, this study said it was 12. And they're like giving me all these answers. And I'm like, y'all do realize 30 seconds prior, I asked you how many times you call your leads, and all of them were less calls than you just told me you knew were contacts required.
But so this goes back to what we were talking about a second ago, right? So when all of a sudden they had something that they thought they knew the answer to, so they needed to brag that they, instead of, no, they won't do it. They're not going to do it. Like,
and then they were like, well, are you saying I have to make 12 contacts to close a deal? I'm like, I didn't say anything. You said it.
Right.
I just asked 2 questions. But what you said is it takes 12 contacts, but you're only making 2 phone calls. I'm just asking you if you know this is the answer, why are you only doing this much activity? I didn't give the answer, dude.
That's fair.
You know?
So,
and I think some people are like, holy crap, I never thought of it that way. And no, it doesn't take 12 contacts to close an insurance sale. But it sure as shit might take 12 phone calls, especially if they don't pick up on the first 11. You know what I mean?
So I'm trying to build a business. I don't think I've talked to you about it. Right? So I'm trying to build. Did I tell you about the insurance company in a box?
No.
Okay.
Dude, we should talk more. Holy crap.
Yeah. So have you been to the French Riviera?
Mm-mm.
Have you been to Ibiza?
I don't even know where that is. I'm assuming the French Riviera is in France, but it might not be. So I've never been there, and I don't even know what the other word you said is. Is that a place?
Have you ever been to like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or Dubai? Okay, so in America, there's, in America, to be frank, you and I are wealthy, right, compared to the average person. But over there, that's crazy. Like the amount of money over there is insane.
Like we don't have that much money relative. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying we're remarkably poor over there.
What's funny is I tell people a lot, dude, when they ask like, what have you been learning with this soul integrity? And the further up you get, I'm like, I've learned the more money I make, how little I make.
Yes.
That's what I learned.
Right. It's like the more money I make, the more I realize I'm poor. And just like with Socrates, the more I learn, the more I realize I'm an idiot. And I knew I was an idiot a long time ago. So we're really deep in the hole now, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't think money is the key to happiness, but it sure does make life easier, right? And it sure does make happiness a lot easier, right? It does. And man, I want to, just to see if I can do it. I want French Riviera money.
What's French Riviera money? Where, first of all, is that in France, or am I a complete idiot?
Yes.
Which one? I know I am a complete idiot, but is it there?
That's in France. It's what's that place? Own country that has no tax.
I picture like boats going down a water canal or something. Is that there?
Those people are offended when you call their boats boats, but yes. I mean, if the Love Boat is a boat, then yes.
Okay. Tell me more.
I mean,
have you been there? I guess you've been there.
Yeah. And it's inspiring.
Did you go? Is that where you went like a few months ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to Paris, and then the French Riviera, and then we went to Barcelona. And I mean, it's like I rented a boat for the day, and then I went out and I was sitting there and I look over and I'm like, that is the biggest yacht I've ever seen. And then your eyes focus like just a little further, and you're like, that boat is twice as big. And then your eyes focus a little further, and you're like, that's the Titanic, right? And then it's like you're looking at what seems like the most expensive boat you've ever seen, and then whenever you open your eyes and pan around, that's the piece of shit boat.
It's like Tiger Woods boats and shit like that.
Yeah, Yeah, like Jeff Bezos boats.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Crazy.
Now, I just always like to challenge myself. Like you guys like to get in the cold water. Hey, I thought of something. You know how you and Blake were saying that you like to get in cold water and run really far to make sure you're uncomfortable. Yeah. I was wondering, do you guys ever try sitting in coach instead?
I did. I flew Spirit one time.
Yeah. So
that was a hell of a challenge.
I mean, like, to me,
I don't like that challenge though. That's not the same.
How is that not the same? Why should I be uncomfortable in the morning? And I'll just, sometimes there's no first class and I have to, I mean, I always just buy the cheap seats. They just, I fly enough.
You don't.
Well, I fly
because you get the upgrade.
Yeah, because I'm
not willing to wait for the upgrade. I'm afraid I won't get it. So
you've been doing this longer than me, and you're bougier than I am.
I am a little bit.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah,
I'm not there yet. Plus, I'm building multiple companies for the same time.
Next time I get in the cold plunge, I'm going to be like, I wonder what's worse, this or coach?
Yeah, I just ride
coach. Well, I actually didn't fly. I didn't fly a lot when I couldn't afford to fly because I couldn't afford to fly. I couldn't afford coach. That's funny.
I'm picking up 10,000 air miles.
You've been waiting weeks for that one, bro.
What's that?
You've been waiting weeks to drop that one.
I was so pissed off. It's like after a fight and you go home and you're like, I should have said this. I should have said that. Hung up and started walking out. And then I started thinking about the next flight I got to get on. And I'm like, all right, how am I going to get my upgrade? And I was like, I bet those sons of bitches don't fly coach. And they're sitting there talking about how they have to work hard to make their life seem, to put life in perspective.
Oh, Lord.
But even when I fly coach, they send somebody special onto the plane to go, Mr. Lunsford, what are you doing back here? And I'm like, it's fine. I don't care. It's all good. Right? It's just a trip to there. And they were like, well, we're going to take special care of you, Mr. Lunsford. And I'm like, okay, you don't need to do that. I'm just a dipshit. So
yeah, I'm just a dipshit who flies more than the rest of them. So I got a fancy little title. That means nothing. Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm entitled. No,
you have a title. They give you a title in the airline.
There's a likelihood I would be disappointed. So I can pretend.
That's true. What's this? Get to the insurance in a box thing. I'm curious.
Okay, insurance in a box. So what I'm trying to turn the HID branded. So, I started my own marketing agency, right? I got a 5-man marketing agency, right? Yep. And then I've spent about 20 grand so far building out, and who knows how many hours, building out these training programs to where we can follow the whole thing. I think we're at like 175 videos of just walking you through every aspect of how to do what I do. What you do is very different, very similar, very different, right? And then you take the leads, and then we use the advertising agency to create leads. So it takes leadership, right? Sales, marketing, and then analytics. And so what I'm trying to build is something that an HID agency in a box that covers everything but leadership that's on you. We provide the marketing and the leads, and we provide all the analytics. And all you got to do is lead these people, and I'll take 30% of your business.
What is it? Leadership? Oh, sales. Leadership, sales, marketing, and analytics.
Analytics, accounting, and analytics. And so that's what I've been trying to build.
I feel like you need a cool acronym.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm trying to look at it. SAML. Can you make? SLAM. Sales, leadership, analytics, marketing. Who knows?
There you go. SLAM. Thanks.
I feel like something's there.
So this all kind of started. We opened an agency, and one of my best friends my whole life. We've been friends since 3rd grade. He came on board with me. He killed it, and then he went to Arkansas to open his own office, and it's just failing, right? And it's not from a lack of talent. It's just too much for one person to go out there, or 2 people or 3 people to go out there. It's something I can do, or I think you could do, but we're just special in certain ways, right? And I can, I've been doing this a long time, and I haven't been able to recruit another me. I've recruited people who were almost me, but evil, right? Or almost me, but lazy, or almost me, but a liar, or, and so I'm like, well, all right, well, how do we reproduce this? And so that's when I was like, all right, so what do we have? We need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. Now, if that is accurate, what can I take off the plate? And how can if I can do the recruiting for you, right? Which is, I'm learning that from you. Yeah. I can do the recruiting for you. Bam. We got that part. So now you don't have to do that. Well, okay. Well, now you got to train these sons of bitches. Okay. I'll do that too. All right. Let me train that. Okay. All right. Now, if you don't have leads, you don't have a business, no matter what business in the world it is. Right.
For sure.
And so I'll do that for you too. And then, well, how do we keep track and do the analytics? To me, as part of that is follow up with the client. Mm-hmm. So how do I make you follow up with your client? I'll do that too. I'll just do all the follow up for you. Now, should you do it on your own? Of course, but will you?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Most won't. Correct.
Those people are spending how much money to hang out with you in a room? They came back 6 months later and they were still in the same place. And people, that's just humans. We're all so scared to look stupid. So, excuse me. And so I'm like, let me take everything off of your plate except leadership. I can't do that. I can't lead for you. Now, then if you do that, how successful will your business be? And if I do it right, the answer is as successful as your leadership skills.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to build. I want 30% ownership in everything you do.
I like that.
That comes through this model.
It's similar concept to how we built the things we've talked about, in a sense. Yeah. You're just kind of formalizing it. Yeah, and packaging it into something cool. I like the concept though. I mean, it works. And some people along the way will be like, I want to do all that. But then someone will go like, I want to do it all. Can I do what you do? Literally, I want to do exactly what you're doing. You know what I mean? And fortunately for me, we have a few of those now, which is cool. I like it.
Yeah. So you have 1,400 agents and you have a few of those.
Yeah. No. So it's been neat.
I mean, and it's not a diss on anybody who's not that. Those people are humans.
No, I don't care that people don't do that or don't want to do that. What frustrates me is they say they want the result from doing that, and they say they're willing to do that, and then they don't do that. That's the part that makes me want to bang my head against nails.
In my rant that I did on Monday, it kind of started like this. I go, you probably don't know what I do for a living. So I do two things. We call ourselves lions, and we like to talk about lions, but I'm a shepherd. I'm a gazelle shepherd. My job is to be a gazelle shepherd for y'all. My job is to herd these gazelles to you so that you can go eat, right? So I got two jobs. Number one, I'm a gazelle shepherd. And number two, I hire liars.
I love it.
And I know that, and I'm okay with that. I know that I told you when I met you, you're a liar. Don't come with me. You're not going to do what I tell you to do. I'm telling you, you have to give me every single heartbeat you have for 1 year. Kiss your kids, kiss your wife goodbye. And if you give me 1 year, every heartbeat you have, I will give you the rest of your life with your family at a level that you can't even comprehend. But you have to give up a year. And then you go, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I go, well, you're a liar and you're not going to do that. Yeah. And so I hire liars hoping that 1 in 100 isn't. And hoping that 1 in 10 I can teach not to be.
Yep.
So if you look at it like that, I can't get mad at you. I hired you knowing you were a liar. Yeah. Waiting for you to prove it wrong.
Yeah, that's true. I did. I was messaging a dude. The reason I asked some of the questions earlier, I was messaging with a guy that's on. He might be on now for all I know. He's reached out for help and online, and I've just helped him. And he's a pretty good listener. Like, he listens to most things and implements them, and which I like. So I keep helping him.
That's good.
And I had a buddy reach out to me and wants to get his brother wanted to get an insurance. And he's like, he wanted to work for this company. I keep telling him to work for you, but he won't listen to me. I'm like, well, if he won't listen to you, he sure shit ain't going to listen to me. So please don't send him.
Right.
And then he convinced him. So I'm like, he's my friend. So I'm like, all right, I'll talk to you, brother. So I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and I get all the, I'm going to do this and I'm going to kill him, my activity. And I want to eat what I kill and well, all the stuff.
Right.
So we tell him how much, I talked to him about activity because he has no way to get leads. Otherwise he's got a few bucks, nothing crazy, but he can invest at the beginning. And he's got, like, I got nothing but time. Like I spent a couple months fucking fishing here for the summer. Like he's got time, all the time in the world. So he had a big why verbally and said he put in the time. And so I connect him with the guy that I said listens. Cause I'm like, same, the pie thing. I'm like, dude, I don't even know where the buttons are for the carriers right now, much less am I the best person to help with that. So I connect the two because I'm like, he listens, he knows all the stuff, he'll help whoever. So I connect the two, and I'm like, make sure you stick, here's what he said he'll do. Make sure we stick to it. And I just like to find out fast if they're liars, and you know what I mean? If they're not going to do the activity wise. Right. So first day he makes, I don't know, 50 phone calls. Right. I'm like, so anyway, I tell the dude, Brian, I'm like, all right, all good, whatever, tomorrow. So he sends me a text yesterday, and the guy makes 90 phone calls in the day. Right. And at the end, he tells him, great job. I said, why did you lie to him? He goes, well, I was trying to make him feel good. I'm like, well, why don't you tell him the truth that he should just quit? Because if he does only 90 phone calls, he has literally 0% of succeeding. Like literally zero. Right. And I found, dude, and he didn't mean ill of it. He just wanted to keep the guy positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, dude, we're not going to give pats on the back and pretend when people are on the path to failure. He's like walking off a cliff, dude. Please tell him that.
There's a difference between nice and kind. They don't have anything in common.
That's true. It's true. So I'm like, can we just tell him the truth, dude? Like, and I've learned over the years that most, whatever you want to call them, upline manager, whatever the hell word you want to use, most do that. It's like the pat on the back, and they aren't willing to go next, and they spend all their time with someone who's not doing the things they said they would do. If the guy told me you could only make,
what you call the upline manager or whatever it's called when they actually tell the truth?
What is it?
A leader.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
That's the difference.
So I bet Brian fixed it after. You know what I mean? He was like, thanks for telling me how to handle it, which is cool. He does listen. He doesn't know anybody. He has not led a team here before. He's new to it. And again, he's just helping out. So, but I found probably a lot of people, whoever watches this thing, if anybody watches this thing, I don't even know, but I wonder, how are you speaking to people who aren't putting in what it takes, and you know it? You know what I'm saying? Are you desperately telling them it's okay because you're afraid to lose someone? And I'm just not, dude. I want to lose. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I want to know in day 1 or 2, and then I'm out. I tap out. I'm tapping out. Dude, I'm going to go find the next person.
So I'm not saying this is healthy, and I'm not saying I'm right. I start out tapped out. And then you have to dance.
I'm super similar.
Yeah. Like I think we're saying the same thing. You don't matter to me. Like, as a human, I care about you, right? So there's no negative feelings here.
Yeah, correct.
You have to prove to me that you want this, and then I will give you everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to start giving you everything and then break my own heart.
Yeah, agreed.
Waste my money, waste my time, more importantly than my time. My time doesn't mean anything. It is what it is. But my uplines, my managers, my leaders, whichever they happen to be, I'm not going to let this affect their income for their family.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's the way we start. Nice to meet you. Do something or don't. And if you don't come back tomorrow. If you do, show me something, and you will be astounded at how quickly you feel special.
I agree. I love when people just follow the path. And I'm like, and if you don't, whatever. But why do we talk? That's the piece I can't understand. Why do you want to talk to me when you don't listen anyway? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, can we just skip that piece, please?
That once you tell it, if you are nice enough, not kind enough, if you are nice enough to tell them, they're going to go ask somebody else anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Because someone will give them the answer to appease them that they want to hear. That happens a lot.
Right.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like every conversation, for the most part, with someone worth talking to, meaning, a conversation should be about growth or strategizing. Every conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I had someone else hit me up on Instagram this week, and she's an agent, been around for a while, and ask a few questions, and I challenge her right away. And well, like 3 days, but 100% of things I've suggested she's done. Nice. I'm like, I like this. It's not even my agent. It's just some random, you know what I mean? Someone that just reached out. Super nice. Yeah. I'm like, these are fun. I like this.
I like having dinner with you, and you're saying something in just passing. And even, I mean, I'm talking about specific incident with you, but I mean, all the time, just talking to somebody, and then they say something, and like Matthew 7:7, seek and you shall find, right? It's the only Bible verse in it. If you're always looking, like people are like, hey Perry, where do you get content for? Like, where do you come up with the things to say? And I'm like, you're not looking for things to say. If you think about, that's what you're looking for, Correct. It always shows. Yeah. And so I'm always looking, and you can say something about Marco Polo, and then that creates this, which creates this, which creates this, which creates an insurance agency in a box. Yep. And you're like, well, whose idea was this insurance agency in a box? And I'm like, well, I think I can go back to Marco Polo and dinner with John, right? Yeah. And so I think that's just me bragging that I don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm mad at that.
Sure.
When's dinner? Are you coming next week? I know it's on my calendar. I just don't remember the date. So next week or the week after? Week after,
no,
right?
It's 2 weeks from yesterday.
Okay, cool.
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yes,
so we'll do the podcast together 2 weeks
13th, 20th, something like that. Cool. When do you head to Virginia? Thursday?
Yeah, the next day.
Okay.
I'm going.
We'll just have to plan where to do the podcast. Yeah, we got dinner. I think Steph already picked a place. I have to ask her. She was telling me about it the other day. So we'll just have to plan where to do the podcast. We can do it anywhere. I don't care.
Yeah. Then, so I'm going to have dinner with you, and then I'm going to have dinner with them, and then I'm getting my butt back home.
Sweet.
Get back to work for 3. I get home on Friday. Christmas is Monday, and then I go to Colorado for a week on Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
With kids.
Nice.
Because I'm a horrible parent right now. I mean, I leave the house I drop them off at school 45 minutes early. There's a Chick-fil-A across the street from their school.
Yeah.
So I drop them off at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They use the little Chick-fil-A app and eat breakfast and then walk to school. Then they ride the bus home, and I don't get home till like 9:30 at night right now. So they're teenagers. They didn't want to see me anyways.
Nah, they don't need much of your time.
But in Colorado, they're going to get more daddy time they can handle. So
I love it. Skiing?
Mm-hmm. Well, my son and I will ski. None of the rest of them like to do it. So, but they like.
They should go. Have you ever done tubing?
Yeah. Oh shit! I need to book that now because that stuff's always. You can never go. You got to book that stuff like 3 months in advance.
That's where it's at, dude.
Hang on. Let me write that down. Dry erase board.
Everyone loves tubing, even people who don't want to ski. Like, who doesn't want to get a tube and go down a snow hill? Yeah.
I have this video of my son when he was really small, and it was our first birthday trip where we went to Colorado, and he learned to ski, and we went tubing, and there's this one hill that's really bumpy, and I'm videoing it the whole way down, and he's like, I don't know, 4 or 5, and he's like all the way down. And then he looks at me when he was done. He's like, that made my penis feel really weird, Dad. I was like, mine too, buddy.
I love it. That's awesome. It's a good day.
All right. Good times,
my man. All right. Appreciate it. Good chatting. Talk soon.
See you soon.
Later, bro.